last one was February 2020. This meeting of the Oak Park City Council is officially called to order. City Clerk Ed Norris, would you call the roll?
Mayor McClellan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Here.
Councilmember Radner.
Here.
Councilmember Edgar.
Here.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Here.
After the book. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Radner. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion's approved. We have the consent agenda. These are routine items presented without discussion. Any council member can ask to have one of these items or more dropped from the blanket motion and discussed. A, regular city council meeting minutes of June 21st, 2021. Library board meeting minutes of May 18th. Recycling commission meeting minutes of May 20th. Request to approve payment of an invoice from Hart Intercivic for election equipment service and maintenance renewal, years 6 through 10, in the amount of $58,878. Planning Commission meeting minutes of May 10th. Request to appoint Kevin Yee as the representative and David DeCoster as the alternate representative to the SACRA Board for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021. G, request to advertise for bids for the 2021-22 miscellaneous concrete project M727. Request to advertise for bids for 2021 block pruning project M733. And finally, licenses, new and renewals submitted for July 6, 2021. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem, and is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Are there elected officials here to speak tonight? Seeing none. We have a special recognition and presentation, an employee recognition to Public Safety Director Steve Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. Boy, does it feel good to be back in person, everybody. It's been a long time, but here we are. We made it. I have the duty, privilege, and the honor of recognizing Public Safety Director Steve Cooper as our employee of the month. And we weren't doing this for a very long time, and we're now getting back to it. And as we were going through and thinking about, you know, there's many of our employees who have stepped up during the pandemic and otherwise. Director Steve Cooper has been a voice of reason and a voice of calm as we've worked our way through not just the pandemic, but of course social unrest throughout our community and other communities. So I would like to ask Director Cooper to come up and accept this honor. Very deserving of it. And council members, I would ask that you come down and join me in a photo. Would you like to say something, sir? Very bashful.
I sincerely appreciate City Manager Tungate. Like I said, there's so many people over on the other side of that wall that deserve the recognition just as much as myself, and I'm just kind of the one that kind of stands up here and gets to take the credit for, as you said, some very troubling, trying times that we've been through in the past year, all of us. Like I said, just honor. I'd be lying to you if I told you it didn't make me feel good that you acknowledge it and recognize the hard work that's put in over the Public Safety Department. It's always a pleasure working under your leadership, and hopefully, like I said, I'll make you proud, or at least not embarrass you. So you and council.
Every day you make us all proud. Thank you so much for all you do. Remember this when we used to get up for photos?
I don't think we can rave enough about our public safety director, Steve Cooper, who handles everything so beautifully and has turned this city into a city with a public safety department that other cities look to for ideas. He's been innovative, he's been kind, he's been in touch with the feelings of small groups in the city and sensitive to their needs. And I just can't rave enough. I think we lucked out when he said, yes, he would take this position. And we're delighted that he is still in it. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Next, we go to item 7 on the agenda, public hearings. There's a public hearing for preliminary PUD site approval for 8775 9 Mile Road. And is Director Kim Maroney going to explain this? Is your,
Oh, there it is.
There
Sorry
you
about
go.
that. Thank you, Mayor and Council. The Leto Group has submitted a preliminary PUD site plan application for a 30-unit, 3-story apartment building at 8775 9 Mile Road. The proposed name of the apartment complex is The Nine. The apartment building would contain 20 one-bedroom units and 10 studio apartments. The applicant has described the project as a transit-oriented development. One definition of a transit-oriented development is a type of urban development that maximizes the amount of residential, business, and leisure space within walking distance of public transport. In the case of this project, there is an existing bus stop immediately in front of the main building entrance. The city planning staff, working with the applicants, have determined that the PUD overlay would be the best planning process to utilize for review and possible approval of the project. A PUD overlay of the existing B1 neighborhood business district zoning would allow the necessary flexibility in zoning regulation that this project requires to be successful. At the Special Planning Commission meeting on July 29th, 2021, the Planning Commission approved the PUD overlay and site plan for the development. The next step requires the City Council to review the recommendation of the Planning Commission and takes action on the preliminary PUD site plan. Approval of the preliminary PUD site plan by the City Council confers upon the applicant the right to proceed through the next review phase, which is final approval from the Planning Commission. The staff recommends the City Council approval of the preliminary PUD site plan with the conditions set forth in the attached memo. We did send City Council a copy of the proposed site plan in everybody's boxes. It's also in your packet. We do have it available if you want it to be shown on the screen as well. And there are 2 representatives from the development group, Kevin Brandon and Lauren Zemsky, sorry, if you have any questions for them as well.
just, what does PUD stand for?
Planned unit development. And we need to open the public hearing, Ed just mentioned.
Okay, we declare this public hearing open. If you're here to speak about water bills or something else, this is not the audience time. This is just about this 3-story, 30-unit development. Is there anybody in the audience here to speak about that? Please come to the microphone, because otherwise the folks at home can't hear you. Give us your name.
My name is Donald Jones. I live in 24660 West Hampton, and I was very pleased to see bike racks included in the 8775 PUD, the 9 Mile.
Very good, thank you. Thank you. We're getting to be a bike-friendly and pedestrian-friendly city, one step at a time, and this is one step in the right direction. A lot of young people want to be car-free, and this will allow that to happen. Can we hear from Kevin, is it Kevin Brandon, about your plans and how this developed?
Yes, Kevin Brandon, 54048 Mound Road, Shelby Township, Michigan, obviously 48316. Thank you for having us here tonight. It's actually kind of weird not being on a computer screen. I actually had to put pants and shoes on today. But I would wear shorts, so just, but just, and sometimes depending on the meetings go, a glass of wine on the side, so, but, no, Kim did a great job in presenting it, and we're here to answer any questions, but it was great working with Kim and the staff. You've got some great people here, so we're really excited about the possibility of getting this project moving this fall, so. Yeah,
So
no.
you're expecting to start building in the fall?
Yes.
And when do you expect to finish?
Usually projects like this take, a good 12 to 16 months. So I think with some material prices maybe starting to level out a little bit, we have another project in Detroit that we want to start too. So similar type project to this. So I think in the fall would be great to start both of them at the same time.
How did you get an idea for this type of thing?
Well, it's really the Ferlitos. I'm just their architect, so I just do what they tell me. But no, actually, it's just we have a project in Midtown. We did a larger project in Midtown, and then I think the thing is to look at doing some housing for people that have good jobs, and it's more for workforce type housing. So younger people, they don't necessarily need a bigger apartment, and a lot of them don't want the bigger spaces. So, that's how we've come up with it and try to fit, 30, and mostly younger people, single people, maybe couples, but, so, yeah.
City manager has a question?
I'm curious, with your clients, what did the city's investment in 9 Mile precipitate their decision? Did it help their decision-making for this particular development?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, it's a good corridor. I mean, I drive down it every once in a while, and I just love what you've done with the parks and some of, the pocket parks as you go along, so it's great. So,
Fabulous.
it's a hidden gem, this city. So,
That was the intention, is
yep.
to attract
Yeah,
you.
no, absolutely, so.
How about
Other
the sign we have over the highway?
I like that, too.
It was good, no?
I mean, not many people have that in our cities when you come through, so it's nice, yeah.
Otherwise, you guys would be in Ferndale or something.
Exactly.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, when this was presented to the Planning Commission, there were concerns about the parking, but Kim addressed those concerns. Can you readdress those? for the
Yeah,
people at
yeah, I
home
mean,
watching?
I think prior to the 29th, we did go, and I think it was the beginning of June, to the ZBA to get a parking variance. And I think at the time, the parking ordinance is either changing or it's in the, it just changed. So we were actually asking for more of a relief than what we would have if we came in, now. So, so one of the things that we look at too is with these providing the bikes. I think we have 13 enclosed and a few outside too. But it's usually, generally what we're finding is, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and again, a lot of people don't have cars, these days too, or they share cars, so, so we're, and I'm not privy to, but in talking to Michael for Leto, it's in their lease, they're assigning spaces too, it's not just, rent out and then, if you have a car, you're gonna register it with with the ownership or the landlord.
If I
So,
recall correctly,
pardon?
I said, if I recall correctly, it is 1 parking space per unit.
That's what we're providing. We actually provide, I think, 5 more, so we have 35 spaces on the site, so if we go by that mentality that we have 1 space per tenant, and then there's 5 for guests that may come in, or that occasional time, where they have someone over, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
City Manager Tungate?
So I would be remiss if I didn't say this. When we were visioning some of the changes on 9 Mile, and I've been the city manager for, I guess, 9 years now, this is exactly the kind of development that we had hoped for back then. And I actually think this kind of development, especially in the location that it's in, is a game-changer development for this area, and this will prompt other developments similar to this.
Yeah.
And the TOD nature of this, I think, is very, very important,
Yeah.
especially given that we have very accessible bike lanes down there and a
Perfect, yeah,
trail. I mean,
yeah.
it's a perfect,
Yeah.
perfect setup. But I am just so happy that this is finally coming to our city after so long. It's so much hard work, and thanks Kim Maroney and your staff for all the hard work that you guys have done to make sure this can happen.
Well, thank you.
Madam
Any
Mayor, I
further
have a question.
questions?
I do
Yes,
have a
sir. This is Councilmember Whitehead.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and thanks for what you're doing. My question is, does for Leto Group, do they have any properties that are in the Oakland County area as of right now, or?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and where is that located in Ferndale?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I did that project, I can't even believe it. Jeez, yeah, we took the 8 Mile Woodward Motel, if you would recall, in Ferndale, and redeveloped that, so that's our project. So that was 60-plus motel units we converted into 35 plus minus, again, small apartments, studio, 1-bedrooms. And we're looking at a couple other pieces in Ferndale, small, to do this very similar project, and love to look in Oak Park again. We're not stopping, so.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate your answer.
Any other questions?
You're gonna pay your taxes and your water bills?
Yeah, they will. I'll make sure. I'll call them up tonight and make sure, because they're out of town right now, so I'll let them know they got to pay water
Awesome.
bills right away.
Sounds like we're gonna be great partners.
Thank you for coming. Thank you both for coming. Welcome to Oak Park. We're thrilled to have you.
We're thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Nice. Anyone wanting to speak at this public hearing about this issue? No. Then I will close the public hearing and move to item 7B, which is a request to approve the preliminary PUD site plan for 8775 9 Mile Road with conditions noted. Is there a motion?
So moved?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Radner. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Motion carried. Welcome to Oak Park. All right. Item special licenses A. Request for special license, event license, and waiver of fee submitted by Julie Miller, 24 to 21 Rensselaer, for the Rensselaer Block Party to be held August 21st, 2021. We need a motion to approve this request.
So moved.
Thank you. Councilmember Radner, and a second.
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitehead. All those, any questions or discussion? If Julie is here, I'm requesting pies. She is the pie baker extraordinaire in Oak Park. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. B, request for a special event license and waiver of fees submitted by First Baptist Church of Oak Park, 24201 Coolidge Highway, for a community outreach event to be held September 4th, 2021. Is there a motion to approve this request?
So moved.
Thank you. Councilmember Radner, is there second?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitehead. Any discussion or questions? Anyone here from the church? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're going to have a lot of fun this summer, folks. Request for special event license, there's 4 of these, submitted by Street Corner Music, Chris Flanagan, 26020 Greenfield Road, for a phonograph record sale to be held July 17th, 2021. We need a motion to approve this request.
So moved?
Thank you. Councilmember, Mayor Pro Tem Burns, and second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar. You might note that there is no waiver of fees for a retail establishment, but the block parties and nonprofits do get that request of waiver of fees. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And last but not least, request for special event license and waiver of fee submitted by Sigmund Glasser, 8832 Woodside Drive, for the East Oak Park Block Club Ice Cream Social to be held in Best Park on August 7th, 2021. We need a motion to approve this request.
So moved?
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, and a second.
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitehead. Is anyone here from East Oak Park? No? I was going to request corn on the cob, but, all right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We have 4 fun things coming up. Everybody come down and join us.
Madam Mayor, that last one was not signed. Is that okay?
Where are we? City manager, let's see, our attorney.
It is, I believe they came in person initially
Okay.
to the clerk's office. Yes, it's fine.
Awesome.
Thanks, good catch. Thank
I
you.
was more concerned about precedent and stuff like that. All right, cool.
We don't have accounting reports. We do have item 11 bids. Request to award the bid for the 2021 citywide janitorial services contract M729 to VHM Enterprises Incorporated of Southfield, Michigan, for the total amount of $165,000. And we need a motion to approve the award, and then we'll have the discussion.
So moved.
Okay, Councilmember Radner, thank you.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem. And we, already up and ready to speak is Assistant City Manager Kevin Yee.
It's like you've done this before.
It's been a while. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so as the agenda item states, the bids did come in for this project. The low bid was at $179,892.28, and our budgeted amount was $165,000. So what we're going to do is, to fit within our budget, we are going to eliminate one of the quarterly cleanings so that we can fit the project within the budget amount. We don't want to go over and ask for an amendment, but as you know, right now, prices in help are very hard to come by, and prices are going up because of that. So that's what is happening with all of our projects that we're finding.
So the next time we'll have to budget higher.
We'll have to budget more next year if we want to include all of the quarterly services, which we'll evaluate and make sure that's what we need. So.
All right, super. Any questions? Have we used the company before, did you say?
We have not used them, but we did check the references and they came back positive. So we're hoping that we'll get a high level of service here.
Okay. And the company that was last year's?
H&K did not bid. They're not on here. They did not bid on this project.
Any questions?
You asked the question I was going to ask.
Okay. Mind reader. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Edgar?
Yes.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Radner?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes.
Yeah, motion
Thank you.
carried. City Attorney, do you have anything to report?
I'm just happy to be back. Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. And I guess I can give one update. As you know, we are here in person today because the Michigan Department of Health lifted all of the coronavirus and COVID restrictions that were previously in place. We were monitoring a bill that would possibly allow our commissions, our boards and commissions, non-elected, to meet remotely continuing forward. Unfortunately, there's been no movement on that bill before the legislature broke, so I will continue to monitor that and report back to you.
It was awfully handy meeting that way, honestly. I think that's what we discovered, is how easy it was to meet that way. Just walk into your kitchen or wherever your computer is. All right, City Manager Tungate.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. 14A, I'd like to ask Public Safety Director Steve Cooper to join me at the podium. There he is. Shining in the limelight back there with his award there.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, City Manager Tungate. Before you, I have Traffic Control Order Number 160, Section 1.28. And over the course of a year or more, the Public Safety Department has received numerous resident complaints regarding the traffic situation at the intersection of Oak Park Boulevard and Roanoke. The complaints consists of several motor vehicle accidents or near accidents, speeding motorists on both Roanoke Street and Oak Park Boulevard, motorists disregarding the traffic control signage, excessive horn blowing at the intersection, and this is believed to be caused by confusion that motorists are mistaking the intersection for an all-way stop. Due to the large number of complaints, Public Safety contacted the Transportation Improvement Association, TIA, to request a traffic study of this intersection. As a result of the study that was conducted the first week of June of this year, 2021, a 24-hour traffic volume counts were collected for Oak Park Boulevard and Roanoke Streets. The daily traffic for eastbound Oak Park Boulevard was 995 vehicles, and the daily traffic westbound was 805 vehicles. The daily traffic on Roanoke Street south of Oak Park Boulevard was 2,280 vehicles, and north of Oak Park Boulevard was 3,418 vehicles. A total of 5,012 vehicles enter the intersection daily. Accident data for a 3-year period revealed 12 crashes. The 85th percentile speed on eastbound Oak Park Boulevard was 29 miles per hour, and westbound was 26 miles per hour. This indicated reasonably good compliance with the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. Typically, for an 85th percentile on a residential street, the range is between 28 and 32 miles per hour. TIA's recommendation is to install an all-way stop at the intersection of Oak Park Boulevard and Roanoke Street based on the crash history and the need to improve operational characteristics. Stop signs should be installed on eastbound and westbound Oak Park Boulevard. All-way plaques should be installed under the existing stop signs on Roanoke Street. Temporary stop-ahead signs should be installed on eastbound and westbound Oak Park Boulevard in advance of the intersection with Roanoke Street. Temporary glow flags should be installed with all stop signs and stop-ahead signs to bring attention to the change in traffic control at that intersection. And the existing cross-traffic does not stop sign will need to be removed. I'm coming before City Council asking for your approval on traffic control order number 160, section 1.28, making the intersection of Roanoke and Oak Park Boulevard an all-way stop, and also implementing the other recommendations spelled out by TIA in their report.
Excellent. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this order?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns, as second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar. All those in favor, please say aye.
I have a question.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm
Questions.
sorry. What other recommendations are there other than making it a 4-way stop?
That, the recommendations that I've talked about as far as putting the glow flags up ahead of the stop sign, letting them know there's actually
Gotcha.
a stop ahead. Also,
Oh, and getting rid of the cross-traffic does not stop sign.
right, getting rid of the cross-traffic does not stop sign.
Okay.
Is, another one, and then putting the plaques up under the stop signs on Roanoke, I'm sorry, on Oak Park Boulevard going east and west, just basically indicating it's an all-way stop.
Okay. Sorry for slowing things down.
Yeah, no.
All right.
So all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. We have a 4-way stop. I'm
Council
sure-
members, I don't know if you could hear that, but there's a collective cheer
Yes.
coming out of the eastern portion of the city just
Yes,
now.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing. Thank you, Director Cooper, for that.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask Director Megan Burke to join me at the podium for 14B, 1 through 3. And council members, these are the remaining collective bargaining agreements that Megan and our staff, our legal representation, and of course, the union representation have worked so hard to bring before you. Megan, do you want to?
Absolutely. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, council members. It's nice to actually even meet some of you in person for the first time after almost a year. So for number 1, excuse me, you will see the TPOAM agreement. I'm sorry that the packets are so large, but we included the full tentative agreement on there. You'll notice each page has been initialed by the city manager and then the various union leadership. Any new language would be in bold. Any language we had proposed and it was agreed to remove will be stricken. And in there, much like the contracts that went up in front of the city council at the last meeting, we got a lot of modern language put into the agreements, a lot of outdated language. We now have included both male and female pronouns as opposed to just being, he, him, and his. Now we have the female pronouns in as well. I also worked very closely with the city's bargaining team and with union leadership to kind of organize the contracts in a more sensible way, to put all different types of leave time together so it's easier for new union members to be able to read through those agreements. For the first agreement, the TPOAM, we did agree to the wage change. We increased the wage for each step of the contract for each salary grade by $2 per hour. We were also able to get some some administrative language change in regard to overtime for departments like our Department of Public Works when they have emergencies and the way that they're going to calculate that overtime.
Megan, let me just jump in on that. Councilmembers,
Absolutely.
that is with regards to the TPOM agreement, that's probably the biggest fundamental change in the TPOM agreement.
Sure.
And I wanted to speak to that in the context of, obviously, we've raised the city's minimum wage to $15 an hour. And and we're very proud of that. And of course, that takes that into account. But it also, we think, right-sizes our TPOM union members and gets them on track and puts us in a competitive position that, quite frankly, we haven't been in the past.
Absolutely, especially with it being hard to recruit just in general, even in the private sector. Being a public sector counterpart, it's also been very difficult to recruit. Carla and I can speak to that. So those were some of the larger changes. We also did go for a 3-year agreement, as we did with the other units that have come before you as well. We were able to agree to keep the current health care with a great stipulation to change in case the hard cap numbers come in at a little bit higher and we're unable to maintain that hard cap. We do have a stipulation to change our health care plan. And so that's pretty much it for TPOAM. May I move on to? Okay, sorry. Oh, do they have to vote on each one?
So,
Apologies.
Madam Mayor, I think what we would ask is just, we go through each one of these and it'd probably be a roll call vote for each one.
Sure.
Okay, and do you want to discuss them separately?
It's up to you.
Yep. So, Technical and Professional Office Workers of Michigan, TPOAM, to accept the collective bargaining agreement. This is an approval of that agreement. Is there a motion?
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. That's Burns and Radner. Are there questions for the director on this? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Radner?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar?
Yes. Unanimous, fine. Are you, Police Officers Labor Council?
Yes, so this is the Police Officers Labor Council, or POLC Command Unit. They also were able to come to a 3-year agreement. All of the healthcare changes, a lot of the modernization of language, all that was the same across all 4 unions, except for the POLC Command wage increases mirror that of POAM Patrol, which came to you at the last council meeting, which is a 3-year agreement with 2.5% increase the first year, 2.5% the second year, and then 2% in the third year, with a one-time hazard payment of $2,500. So all of the other language changes are pretty much the same.
So we need a motion to approve the Police Officers Labor Council Agreement.
So moved?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilmember Edgar. Discussion, questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar? Yes. Mayor McClellan?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay.
The final one, the Police Officers Association of Michigan, that's the POAM Patrol Unit. This one is on here. This was simply in the shuffle of paper. I know that you all have seen how large that packet is. I left one out of the POAM Patrol at the last meeting, so I apologize. That's why it's just one single tentative agreement. So I am so sorry about that, but I appreciate it coming before you again tonight.
So we need a motion to approve this additional article for the POAM.
So moved.
Thank you. Councilmember Radner in a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar. Discussion or questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
We pay our officers pretty well, don't we? On a scale, we'd be towards the top, right?
Some would say that.
We're good. Because, first of all, I think they deserve it. And second of all, I think because we do that, we get a lot of applicants anytime there's any sort of position that's open, and we're able to be very, very selective. And not only do we make sure that we're getting people who Chief Cooper believes are the best people to serve, putting it bluntly, having the right people in place saves the city a lot of money as well.
Amen.
And goes without saying. So
Yep.
usually I'm all for cutting costs whenever possible. This
This
is
is
not one of
from
those
an
instances.
attorney who sues about this. Yes. Mayor.
And also, I just wanted to mention that our public safety officers wear 3 hats. So they do a very extensive and detailed and an eclectic job. So thank you. Well deserved.
Right. And we have the cream of the cream.
Creme de la creme.
So let's see. Did we vote?
No, we still have to do the roll call on the last one.
Roll call on the last one. Thank you.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
And Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Again, I'd just like to say thank you to the bargaining team, Director Cooper, Assistant City Manager Yee. I left you out earlier. You were instrumental in this. Director Burke, thank you so much for your hard work. And of course, thank you to our collective bargaining unit representation and as well as our staff. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, these are the people out there, you know, punching the clock, getting the job done for us. And I am more excited than anyone that we have a 3-year deal with all 4 of them. Yay! We don't have to come back to you for a while. Okay, 14C, I would like to ask Director Kimberly Maroney to join me at the podium, please.
Thank you, Eric. At the June 7th, 2021 City Council meeting, it was approved to create the Water Tower Social District. Restaurants and breweries must apply with the Michigan Liquor Control Commission, and at this point, I have received 2 applications that are presented tonight for approval. Oak Park Social LLC and Dog and Pony Show Brewing LLC. It is recommended that the attached resolution be approved by City Council.
Okay. Is there a motion to grant approval for
So
the
moved.
social? This is for
So
Oak Park
moved.
Social and for Dog and Pony Show.
So moved.
So moved. Aha.
Wait, who made the motion? I'll second it.
It's never boring with him. Do you notice that?
Just excited to be with people again.
Yeah. So this, can you explain what is this going to let us do?
Yeah, so when City Council approved us allowing the social district on 11 Mile between essentially where the water tower is, almost all the way to Coolidge, where we have several restaurants and breweries that are going to be located there. And the area surrounding it, it allows people to purchase alcoholic beverages within those establishments in special cups and drink them in the open areas outside of those establishments. And then it also allows us to have some special events in those areas as well where they can serve those alcoholic beverages too.
So this was from a state law that just passed, is that
Correct.
correct?
The state law was created due to COVID. They thought it would be helpful for restaurants who had long wait times in order for people to maybe be willing to wait while they could have a cocktail outside because you couldn't wait inside.
All right.
I think it's also probably going to be a test and something that they'll extend past the 3-year time limit that it currently has.
Is there a limit to the time for this?
Yeah, when it was created last year, it was given a 3-year time limit. So at the end, they'll either extend it or we'll be removing it permanently.
So they'll evaluate it at that time. Let's see. We have the motion. We have a second. Any other questions?
And Madam Mayor, I do have a question
Yes.
about this.
Councilmember Edgar.
So I like what's happening along the corridor a lot. I'm assuming that our public safety department is okay with this, that they're not anticipating a lot of problems, with public drunkenness, because, right? I mean, people are gonna be walking around with alcohol.
Yeah, no, and that's a very good question. Before we even brought it to city council, we had an extensive meeting with City Manager Tungate, Assistant City Manager Kevin Yee, our city attorneys, Ebony and Courtney, as well as our public safety officers, and there was no concerns by any of those departments.
That's great.
Okay.
We gotta show 11 Mile to those for Leto guys. Maybe they're gonna wanna build now by 11 Mile.
That's right, that's right. People love it. The younger people that I talk to are just thrilled with 11 Mile Road. And that you can walk to a place, and soon you can have coffee there, talk to an older woman, she's not into brew. But I said, there's gonna be coffee there too, there'll be something for everyone. And it is just refreshing to be kind of on the cutting edge.
Yep, so it's an exciting time in Oak Park.
Okay, do we need a roll call, please?
Madam Mayor, your friend's just not trying the right brew.
Clearly. I went to the opening of Dog and Pony Show, and I did, just for the good of humanity, and the city of Oak Park did try the Oak Park Ale. Opa. Yeah.
And did you create the kind of trouble that Julie was just worried about?
No, I behaved myself. I was all right. So we're ready for a vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Byrne.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Maroney. I would like to call our new Communications Director, Courtney Flynn, to the podium, please. Courtney, we've introduced her to the public, but this is her first, actually, I think this might even be Director Burke's first in-person meeting. And by the way, we also have our new library director here, Kimberly Schaff is here. This is your first in-person meeting, of course. So Courtney, if you want to take a moment to introduce yourself as well,
Yes.
please feel free, but we have community announcements as well.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here in person and to be at my first city council meeting. I would like to give you some of the community updates. I guess the first one that actually isn't on here is I was doing the final editing for the city magazine. So that should be in mailboxes hopefully sometime in the next week or two. So I hope everyone is as excited about that as I have heard. So that should be coming out soon. Other community announcements include, as we all know, the utility bills have transitioned as of July 1st from quarterly to monthly. The first monthly bill will arrive sometime the first week of August in mailboxes. This first bill will reflect utility usage fees between June 16th and July 15th. In addition to that, we are also hosting a utility bill town hall here in council chambers at City Hall on July 19th at 5:30 p.m. So that will be before our next city council meeting. City officials will provide information on the utility bill updates and on our water and sewer system. Utility division staff will also be available for individual questions from the public. Heavy rain events, as we all know, it rained, well, it has been raining quite a bit for the last week or so. So just a reminder that city public works crews monitor local streets and clear catch basins as necessary during heavy rain events. However, we also ask that residents can remove debris covering the catch basins by using a rake or a shovel. If the storm drain covers or manhole covers are displaced, you can please call our Department of Public Works during normal working hours, and then during non-working hours, you can contact the Public Safety Dispatch. Tomorrow, we kick off our farmers market season, so that begins at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that will run through September 29th. It's being held across the street in the high school parking lot on the Coolidge side. We already have 18 plus vendors registered, and the market accepts EBT cards, and participants can use that to participate in the Double Ups program. Also, at the farmers market, we have several events and programs going on, some of which include a Power of Produce Club, which provides free funds for those who participate to use at the market. And one program is geared towards younger kids, and another is geared towards our senior population. We also have free yoga classes for kids and adults. And then we will be having story time at the market, and that will start next week. Also with the library is open to the public now, and so you can check the website for their updated hours. Some of the programming that they have going on for the month includes a Feathered Friends Take-Home Craft Kit, and that will be going on from July 6th to the 11th. And with this, you can pick up a fun bird watching take-home craft that is sure to get the kids observing and appreciating all the birds in their backyard. They'll also be holding a sidewalk chalk event on July 15th. At 6 p.m., they're inviting families to come out and decorate the sidewalks in front of the library, and there'll also be raffles held for those who participate in the program. Sign up is online. There's a senior pop-up concert on July 15th at Shed 1 at David Shepherd Park. That's from 1 to 2 p.m., and the event is free to the public, but attendees must bring their own chairs. There's the senior picnic lunch on July 23rd, also at David Shepherd Park. Register with payment by July 19th, and you can call the Recreation Department to register for that. The Oak Park Library provides access to universal classes. So this is through a website called Libby, Libby app.com. And residents have access to free continuing education credits. So everything from professional development to ESL, hobbies, and there's a whole bunch of courses. So feel free to check that out and just use your library card number to access the programs. We're also asking residents to check out our social media pages, so our Facebook, and there's a map up there of the different districts that we are asking to be named. There's 6 different, I think it's industrial use districts. Sorry, I'm still, commercial districts, sorry, yes, thank you. So there's 6 different ones that we're asking the public to provide input on, and the map is on our Facebook page, and then I'll also be putting it on the website. And then just a reminder that the city pool is open, and that when it is closed, to check the Recreation Department's Facebook page, because that's where we announce the closures. Actually just got a text that it is closed tonight for male-only swim, so that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Flynn. Madam Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, City Manager Tungate. Now we're a call to the audience. If you can give us your name and address and keep your comments to 3 minutes.
Right here? Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Use my voice is strong. Anyway, I'm a resident here in Oak Park, Michigan. My name is Marcina Cole, and I reside on Condon Street. Do you need any more further information? I just want to say I feel like an oddball because I'm the only one with a mask. I've been fully vaccinated, but I don't believe what CDC says, that people's vaccinated, you know, you don't have to wear a mask. And so everybody just crowds in the stores and knowing doggone well they haven't been vaccinated. So nevertheless, I'm just trying to protect myself. So I appreciate, you know, giving the opportunity. And it's pertaining to, I have a lot of issues. I know I have just 3 minutes, but what's the focus right now? And I thought it'd be more residents here. I didn't have an agenda. I didn't see one until now. It's too late to review the agenda now. But nevertheless, the water bills has been much too high here in the city of Oak Park. I can't keep up with it. I don't have a house full of kids around. I'm a senior citizen, and I have one grandson. He really stays with me. But my bills were uncontrollably high. I have not got any explanation from the water department. All I know is I've had 4 plumbers at my house. There is no leak. This is what Keith said to me. There's a leak. Don't put the responsibility on me, you know, as a homeowner. I believe it's a city problem, and I had a plumber over a few days ago, said it's not your problem. There's nothing going on at all. All I know is my bill is $1,700. Not feeling good being a resident here at Oak Park at this time. I'm not getting representation like I want to have here. There need to be some changes here, politically or whatever, and more involvement with the community at large. I had for years had a Condon Block Club, made a difference. I don't see that anymore. I just feel like, you know, what we did on our block, we've been forgotten and been ostracized. But I want to let you know there should be something done about why the bill is so high. I know there was, years ago, there was a class action lawsuit. Are we supposed to be paying back what the residents had gotten from the class action lawsuit, which only got paid once every 2 years? I don't know what's going on. But there's no legitimacy about my bill being high. I have not got any answers. I cannot afford to give away money. I'm a single parent. I only have 3 kids. My son is deceased. So I'm doing everything by myself. So I'm here today to present to you, and others are out there. I don't know where they are. Maybe on Facebook they might be. But I'm here today because of the fact we're open to speak out instead of virtual. I couldn't even get through virtual. So hopefully I can make a difference. And give me some answers and maybe pass on to some of my other residents that could not make it.
Yeah, thank you. Who can she speak to tonight?
Talk to me. Not tonight, but she can call me tomorrow. We can talk.
Call the city manager tomorrow morning. Please come up.
Hello. I feel you about the mask. Still very much concerned about our communities. Hello, Council, Mayor and Pro Tem. My name is Sylvia Orduno. I am a longtime community organizer with Michigan Welfare Rights Organization. Been doing this for about 25 years. I'm a resident of the city of Detroit. And I'm here because many of us were on the Zoom meeting with you all last month, bringing to your attention the issues of water unaffordability and water insecurity with many of your residents here. As a statewide organization, we regularly hear from low-income residents across the state who are unable to pay for their water bills and are asking for our help, for our intervention, for our advocacy. We also work in partnership with the People's Water Board Coalition, who are trying to have communication across all the different cities in the Tri-County area, because we're very much concerned about this practice that is resumed, which was pre-COVID pandemic, but is now happening again in what many people are assuming is the post-pandemic. For low-income families, we are not out of the pandemic yet. And God bless you all for feeling that you can move forward, but the lives of many low-income people are still in the pandemic as if it still hasn't ended. And so the fears about health, about financial insecurity, about the impact to people's lives. A lot of families have had to take care of elders and children who got extensively ill during COVID and have accumulated bills that they couldn't have imagined. And part of those are their utility bills. And so as you all are looking forward to how it is that you can better pay for the cost of it is to operate a city, when we understand that people want to pay their bills, but they need to pay based on what they can afford. And right now there are too many factors that you all are putting forward that aren't including your lowest income residents. And you have to make sure that as you're providing for your unionized workforce, for the dining and entertainment districts that you're putting here, new housing for new residents to come through, that you don't forget about your lowest income residents in the city, many of whom always stick and stay when times are turbulent for other families and they choose to leave. Low-income people tend to stay put because it's too expensive to move, and people are committed to their cities, and these are the houses where they grew up in as well. So we need you all to really think about how you're going to put forward water income based on affordability. The assistance programs that you were referring people to for RAP, that's not enough. But thank goodness for what's going on right now at the federal government and the monies that are coming down here to Oak Park in particular. And if you haven't been paying attention, we know that Oak Park is slotted to get $2.9 million out of the ARPA fees. And you should have gotten at least half of that. If not, then you have to contact the state because you were owed these monies. Also, there's $294 million coming to Oakland County that you also are able to get funding for your communities. Those monies can be used to help residents who are behind in their water bills. And even the change that you all made last month to move from quarterly bills to monthly bills, that's in essence a threefold water increase. Even though you're not doing it through a typical water increase public hearing, it's essentially a water increase. And we've seen this in Detroit. Our bills were quarterly, they went to monthly, and now our monthly bills are more than our quarterly bills were. And it's a way for the water department to try to realistically capture what it is that you have to pay for your infrastructure. But there are not only these low income issues, but environmental justice issues that aren't being addressed when you deny people, especially people of color, access to basic water and sanitation. So we ask you please to look at this more closely. We're gonna keep coming every time to talk to you all and see if we can even possibly meet with some of you all individually to better share information that we're learning about this crisis too.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Cass Charette. I'm also with the People's Water Board. And I'd like to ask specifically, I know that I have sent you the information on the ARPA money and also CERA money. And are you using that money to pay overdue water bills for those who are eligible?
Do you want me to speak to that? So we have not yet received our allocation of that. And of course, as was mentioned, I mean, we're going to get what we have coming to us. We do not yet have specific guidelines for how to spend that money. You know, the federal assistance was not just for water bill assistance, even though I understand what your position is. It was also to keep the city afloat and make the city operate as well. Part of what council did going into this budget year was we did not raise water and sewer rates to our residents. We zeroed it out. And the city...
I am asking a specific question.
Okay.
Have you decided to use any of that ARPA money for overdue water bills for people who cannot afford to pay, who you would rather shut off or use that ARPA money for?
Okay, well, I didn't answer that, so I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. There's also CERA money that is available right now. Currently, they pay the entire bill. And we're asking for communications to be put on, to be sent out to people that cannot afford it, so that there is funding available to be paying those bills. Thank you.
We are not raising rates with our monthly water bills, and we have, we're sending them out in envelopes instead of postcards so that we can put information to people. We can get your information to people who need it, because we can put extra sheets in those envelopes where we couldn't put any information in the little postcard water bill that we had before. Oak Park has received a 2% increase from the Great Lakes Water Authority, and we did not pass that increase on to the residents this year because everyone is struggling with COVID. So that is $1 million that we have invested in our water customers. Thank you for keeping coming, and we'll see you next time. We have call to the council. Yes, oh, more.
Brother Tom Sarafa, 24320 Seneca Street. I also second, third, and fourth, and fifth the people that came here to talk about the water bills and the issue too. I had a personal appointment with our city manager this morning, and that was one of the several topics we did talk about. And I trust everybody is hearing that message. I do have a little bit of announcement, and it's not so much about me, but there's a special day coming up on Friday, July 30, which is a Friday evening, and it's going to be at my home. I don't need city council permission to have this event, But there's a group of people that call themselves Tom's Kids. You know, and these are young people that I've mentored over the years. And that includes people like our state senator, Jeremy Moss, our city council, our Oakland County treasurer, Robert Wittenberg, and several others that are involved in public transit and environmental causes and other reasons. There's about 20 in all. And they're hosting an event at my home that evening. And I'm not supposed to show up until mid-evening. I'm supposed to be away for the whole day. But I'm marking I've been here in Oak Park now 20 years. And this will be like a 90th year celebration on July 30. So you can kind of guess what the other 70 are about. And I'd like to invite everybody on the city council, you know, to mark that date and show up if you can. You'll be getting a formal invitation, hopefully within the week, about it, and so will some of the department heads too. And it's not about me, but it's about a celebration of all of the many things that have happened here in Oak Park over the last 20 years, and about the many reaches we have coming out of this city. You know, we're not isolated. The walls came down around the city when our current mayor was elected, you know, and now we're part of the whole wider community now with the cities around us. And I'm always grateful for that. So I want to thank each one of you personally for your service here in Oak Park, and know that you have a cheerleader here for everything each one of you contribute to this city. And
Thank
if
you,
there's
Tom.
anything I can do to help, you know, I'll always be at your beck and call.
Thank you.
Because this is my home too.
We appreciate
And
your
thank you for
service.
approving the stop signs
Yeah.
over on Roanoke and Oak Park Boulevard too.
Thank you.
I've been asking about that for 20 years. 24320 Seneca.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. If no one else would like to speak, we have call to the council. I'd like to reiterate what our communications director said. Tomorrow, I'm going to be there bright and early, 9 o'clock. It's our first farmer's market of the year. And from 9 to 2, there's always fun stuff to do. I'm bringing my yoga mat. So everybody come and join us over there. Again, write down July 19th at 5:30 for the town hall on water. And it's a hot one, cool off at the pool. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out, especially to the residents. I'm very happy that we are able to do live city council meetings now. Please be safe, stay warm, stay cool.
Yeah.
Not warm, stay cool.
Councilmember Radner.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We all hear loud and clear that the water rates are too high, okay? We all get that, we all know that, we all pay water bills, okay? They are too high. The only question is, can they be lowered? And we had a very good company come in and do a forensic analysis of it and determine exactly how much our water rates are supposed to be. And we are charging less than that. So the fact of the matter is, we can lower the rates, but then where's that money going to come from? How are we going to pay for the water when we get it from Detroit? Where's the infrastructure going to come from? If you look at the charts of where we rank with other cities, you'll see that we're kind of in the middle. We're in the middle third of 15 local cities. If you just look around, you'll see that what we charge, we're in the middle third. But as far as how much of that we put back into infrastructure, we're in the top third. And those are the numbers that I saw, if I recall off the top of my head. We'll try to make these numbers available to everybody. so that everybody can see. The fact of the matter is, the price has gone up, and everybody's paying more for it now. So we're all feeling it, and we're all holding the water department's feet to the coals, so to speak, before we agree to raise rates and before we agree to charge everybody more. The fact of the matter is, we charge what we have to charge, because we're paying it too. I don't want to pay more for water, but we have to charge what we. Okay, and I appreciate that. But as far as what rates have to be charged, there are very good professional companies that are specialists in doing that. Plant Moran is one of them. They're one of the top firms in the country that does that kind of work. And I'm only assuming that they're aware of whatever options there are when they structure the rates. And we're charging less than they're charging right now. So we're doing everything we can. Obviously, when you reach out to the city, we're here to help. And anytime somebody calls us, anytime somebody reaches out, we try to do what we can to work with everybody to make things as affordable as possible. So thank you all for coming out. We're working for you. We're really doing the best we can. And if there's any specific issues, let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Edgar.
Hi, good evening. Thank you all for coming out tonight. It's good to see everybody in person. I'm just gonna echo what Councilman Radner just said about the complication of water billing, and we are somewhere in the middle. We don't overcharge. We need to fix infrastructure. That is a big problem, and with crumbling infrastructure, you end up spending more. And while I agree with you that I think water is a human right, I really do. I wish it were free, frankly. It's not, and the city doesn't profit. So we are working on this. It's ongoing, and I think that we're having productive discussions. I'm glad that you're here. I think it's important to hear what you're saying in terms of using the money from the federal government, the COVID relief money. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but you've raised some important points, and we may end up using it to subsidize water bills. We don't know yet. In any event, so I just wanted to make another quick announcement, which is that the Recycling and Environmental Conservation Commission is planning a citywide cleanup on Sunday, September the 12th. So we chose that date because it coincides with a Haul Away Your Junk Day in Oak Park. And just listen for more updates. We're going to create an online sign-up, and we are looking for sponsors. So thank you for coming. Good evening.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitehead.
I just want to say it's great to be here in person. It's my first meeting in person. I love this a lot better than the Zoom. I do want to first start out by saying the recognition that we gave to Director Cooper, Chief Cooper, that was definitely well-deserved, and we appreciate your service to this community and keeping us safe. And I'm pretty sure that you have a well-decorated recognitions already, but we were glad to honor you tonight. That also leads me to the memorial fund that happened last weekend. My fellow council as well as the mayor was there, and City Manager Tungate. We were very proud to be a part of what the Torgo family was able to do for some scholarships. And we also had the Juneteenth. We added a new component. This time we had the Juneteenth students there. We gave out a computer, a laptop, a tablet, a $500 scholarship to the Juneteenth winner. I'm going to keep bragging about the Juneteenth presentation because Mr. Benny White, who's in the booth there, he did a really great job, as well as Director Van Fleck and my fellow committee. If you haven't seen the Juneteenth video, it is up on YouTube, so check out the City of Oak Park's YouTube. That also segues me to saying I hope everybody had a great 4th of July, safe Independence Day. We do live in the best country, even though we all have some issues that we obviously got to work out. And then the last thing that I want to say on a a happy note, I went to a block party this weekend at Sterling Court, and there was 2 residents who the mayor found out fundraised for the whole event, did everything out of pocket. They had a moonwalk, they had snow cones, all of that. I played some basketball with some kids in the neighborhood on that street. Got real hot and sweaty, but so I had to go cool off I feel like I had to cool off for like 2 days straight after that. But so there's just a lot of good things going on in our city. I'm happy to approve some more block parties and different things outside that we're all getting back and gathering together safely. So it's very important to have that camaraderie and be around people again. And I'm glad that we're making that step. So thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Thanks for being here in person. There being no further business to come before the council, this meeting is adjourned.